Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. Today we'll be reviewing the second T20 between India and England. India leveled this series with a 7-wicket win. It was an impressive win from them. They came back strong. It looks like chasing is becoming the trend now, and especially in this series. I have with me my brother and Yusuf Ismail. How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, man. How about you?
I'm doing well. A really good game. India bowled pretty well. I think they restricted England. England didn't get going. They got starts. The likes of Jason Roy, 46 of 35, Malan in his 20s, Bairstow in his 20s, Morgan, Ben Stokes, all of them in their 20s, but no one really got that 50 plus score, that 70, 80 that you're looking for, like Virat Kohli did for India. So that's probably 20, 30 runs short England.
At least, yeah, because the pitch was good enough to maybe hit 180, 190. It was a good score as an average score, but yeah, considering the sudden form that the Indian batsmen brought with the changes into the team, I think it was an average score and they chased it down appropriately. And there was some good batting from India as well.
Yeah, if you just touch on India's bowling, Bhuvneshwar Kumar slowly getting back into his rhythm, coming back from
Yep.
injury. They have to be a bit careful the way they manage him. But 1 wicket and an economy of 7, I think he bowled well with the new ball as well. And at the death, he's
Yep.
a very skillful bowler, very experienced, and a fully fit Bhuvneshwar Kumar will be very important for India going into the T20 World Cup. Alongside Bumrah, I think he can be India's key bowler because he has the experience bowling under pressure in pressure situations. And we saw yesterday that he has the skill in this format as well. So he gets the ball to move, and then he has the knuckle ball, he has the Yorker. That pace is slowly coming. He's not bowling at that 140 that he used to at his peak, but his experience will definitely help.
Yeah, 100%. Like you said, a fit Bhuvi is an asset for India in the limited overs game. I don't know if he's needed anymore in test matches. India now have like a big pool of maybe 20, 30 international level players who they can rotate across formats. I think some players, because of their injury potential and risk, basically they should be, limited to certain formats. I think Bhuvi should focus on the T20 aspect of the game for himself. And, even someone like Shikhar Dhawan, who was dropped in this match, we can talk about KL Rahul versus him in the when we come to the batting. But there's just certain players, like for now, because of his fitness issues, he hasn't had a run. I think Harsha Bhogle was saying in the team consistently since 2018 to 2020. You can understand it was a washout, but yeah, I agree. Like he's if a fit Bhuvi with Bumrah in the World Cup for India is the key to their success, I think.
Yeah. I think even Hardik Pandya slowly coming in. He's bowling the overs. He bowled another 4 over spell, so he's also getting into the rhythm. He needs to be taken care of. He needs to manage his workload and make sure he's injury free going into that World Cup because his 4 overs will be important going into that World Cup as well. And before I get on to Shardul Thakur, I just want to talk about Sundar Chahal both doing their job. I think Sundar picking up 2 key wickets, very good economy rate of 7.25. He's bowling accurate. I think that confidence on both the Test series in Australia and against England and India, I think it's done him a world of good. So Sundar looking
Because
confident.
he came onto the international scene as a T20 specialist, right? In the sense that people got to know him because of his T20 performances, especially last season. And then he's went into domestic cricket and he's been opening the batting, I think, for Tamil Nadu. And he came onto the international spotlight during the Australia tour. So I think he's in. I'm not going to say the form of his life, but he's in a very good position for his future in the team. And Chahal, he's a tried and tested T20 player. I think again he's one of those players who you should focus for the T20 game.
Yeah, and it's a good combination. They don't necessarily have to bowl in tandem. Sundar bowls with the new ball. He makes sure he keeps it tight in the power play, and Chahal comes with the older ball and picks up the wicket. So I think it's a good combination to have. And one off spin, one leg spin. I think that will do India good going into the T20 World Cup. And I think Thakur as well, brilliant. I honestly feel that Natarajan should get a place in the side as well because I think that he brings that left arm. He bowls really good at the depth. He gets the ball to swing as well. I think Natarajan will be a really good bowler for India in T20s, but I think Shardul did his job. He provides with the bat as well. We've seen in the Test series against Australia that he can bat well, and his slower deliveries were very good in these conditions. I think he's a very smart bowler, Shardul Thakur, because it's not that easy to pick those slower deliveries and deposit them into the stands. He bowls that really good off cutter, that slower delivery. like Bhuvi bowls that knuckleball, so it's a good variation between the bowlers. I think they're combining well, and I think they did brilliantly to restrict England. It was a very good bowling effort. And then you look at the batting, KL Rahul failed again and needs to move his feet. It looks like he is rusty coming out of injury. I still feel he's a great player, talented player, and I think these are the games like he needs. Like I don't think he should get dropped immediately. I don't know
No.
what you think about it, but I think he needs to be back because he's coming out of injury. He got injured in the nets in Australia, so you have to back him because I think he's extremely talented. We'll see in the IPL also how he performs. Hopefully, he can get his rhythm there. And yeah, but there are issues like he needs to. There is rustiness. There's footwork issues. He needs to work on that. But you saw even Sam Curran bowled brilliant to him that over. Like I think he bowled
Yep.
one. He swung one in, took one away, and then finally got him out. Got behind. So there was some good bowling there. But then I think the star of the show, Ishan Kishan, the transition from IPL to international cricket, so smooth. It's just fantastic to see. We saw that with Gill as well in the test arena. And hopefully, I mean, he's going to get challenged as well, Kishan, like Gill did. There's going to be a dip in form. But to start like this, it'll give him immense confidence. And in this format, I think it's huge because India were missing these power players in terms of Pant and Ishan Kishan who can take the game away, right? Like a Sehwag type. They had a stable top order in Dhawan, in Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. And yes, they took a risk in the last game with the way they over-attacked with the style of play. But we've seen like if you put these youngsters in, they enjoy that style and they will take the risk and they will, when they execute, the game is done. So I think it's brilliant to see Ishan Kishan in the side. Some of his shots, short ball, through the offside, his power is immense and he's not scared to, go for it.
Yep. And again, it goes back to that point of India have an abundance of talent right now who anyone could play. Like Rohit Sharma could have played as well in this, right? You can easily play Rohit Sharma. He's in great form. Good test series in Australia, good test series against England in India. So I think it's a good problem for India to have. KL Rahul, I would argue he had the same problem against Curran, I think, in England in the Test series. Maybe I think the last time out, he struggled, against the left-hander playing outside his off stump. But you saw from the IPL how talented he can be, and he should be given a run. I think Shikhar Dhawan, a fan of Shikhar Dhawan could argue that he deserves a run, but I think Shikhar Dhawan's at the end of his career or near the twilight of his career. He might get chances in the Indian team going forward, but I think he's the least priority. You have Ishan Kishan, KL Rahul, and Rohit Sharma, and then Shikhar Dhawan as your options, right?
Yep.
For the World Cup. I think Rohit Sharma, he's unlucky not to play because of his form, but then Ishan Kishan has given
No, Rohit Sharma is rested, I think.
He's rested, but suppose Kishan's in right now. Let's say he's opening now. He's done well. I think he comes in for one down for Bombay, I think sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. So, but if you play him at one down, where are you going to play Kohli? And then you have Surya Kumar Yadav, who hasn't even played in this match. It was his debut. He didn't play. So it's like, it's a good headache for India to have because there are so many options at each position. And one thing I've noticed with Indian youngsters in the last year is that they're taking their chances. When they're given a shot to play, they're taking the chances. Shubman Gill, given a chance, he did fantastic, right? He's had a dip of form a bit with the test, but that comes with experience and application. So, as far as this series is concerned, I would say stick with KL Rahul. Ishan Kishan, he's undroppable now. Rohit Sharma, if he doesn't have a spot, they should rest him, or maybe they will just do a forced rotation. But yeah, man, I think that's another bright star for India in the future. And to just move down Kohli, like, people were doubting him. I was doubting him. Like, he hasn't done anything in the last while, and then he comes back with a beautiful knock. Beautiful shots in the end that the wrist came into it, showing his swagger. Flicked what's his name, Chris Jordan over square leg a couple of times. Crazy, straight lift for six. So yeah, overall dominant performance by India with the bat, and good headaches to have for the selection committee.
Yeah, I know. I just like a point to add to what you said about the youngsters. I think another brilliant thing is that they're floaters. Ishan Kishan, he batted 2 down, he batted 3 down, he batted 1 down. He opened the innings in the IPL as well. Rishabh Pant can float. Hardik Pandya can float, and I think that's what you need in the T20 format. When you look at West Indies, they have the likes of Pollard, Russell, Narayan. All these guys can float. Holder as well.
Can play up to
yeah. So they have all these Brathwaite as well. So they have all these floaters, and they've been successful in this format. So I think that's a good template to have for India. You don't need to go with the traditional cricketing kind of mindset in T20s. If you like, it's good to take high risks, high rewards. So I think that's the way to go. If it fails, I don't have a problem with it. To be honest with you, the first T20, I didn't really have an issue with the way team selection could have been better, but the way they approached it over aggressive, I don't have an issue because that's how you win games as well. And that's how
Yeah.
England also started up, right? They went the high risk approach. They lost a lot of games. They lost two games in that World Cup as well. Not two, more than that, 2 or 3 games against Australia, against Pakistan. They lost of some important games, and against Sri Lanka as well, playing that high risk cricket. But in the end, they won the World Cup. So in the
Yeah.
limited overs, I think you should take high risks, and these youngsters will give you that. Of course, it's not going to be rosy every day. It's not going to be like this kind of innings every single day, but I like the risk they're taking. And Virat Kohli, he's shown that, like, form doesn't matter. Like, he's just scored a duck, 3 ducks in the last 5 games, but then there's a couple of 50s there as well. And I think this 50 was brilliant, like you said in the beginning. In the beginning he was kind of edgy, I would say, but I think Ishan Kishan I took that pressure off him, and Virat Kohli was just brilliant. And then Virat Kohli overtook him at one point, and then he just kept batting on, and that's what experience is, right? He finished the game off. The youngster got out, but Virat Kohli, he took the initiative and he took the game till the end, and that's what he is like. That's why he's such a big player, such a good player, because he knows exactly how to go about a chase, and he's shown that. It could have been tricky if he also got out. So credit to him, some magnificent shots. I think he'll just want that 100 in some format or the other, just to for his own sanity. But like, he's just look, he's in a slump of form, and he's still scoring 50s. So I think that just the virtue of the man. He's an outstanding batsman, and I think he worked. He's learning from his mistakes. He was a bit too fidgety in the first match, and even the previous games, and now he was a bit more confident. He played his shots, and rotation of strike is absolutely brilliant. The way he works the singles is very important, even in this format, and it's a good it's a good lesson for the youngsters, and he can guide the youngsters. I think he's experienced enough now to guide these youngsters. It's a good balance now, this Indian team, I feel. But moving forward, I think it's still a very evenly poised series. England have one off day. I think the toss is becoming crucial now. I didn't see too much due, but I think it is coming a bit nicely onto the bat in the second innings. And when you have a target in mind, it becomes a bit easier. I think the team batting first need to not take so much pressure. Oh, we have to hit 200. They just need to take it ball by ball and then see how it goes. And England, I think Sam Curran was their find. This was their player, the bowler of the match. Economy of 5.5, he bowled really well. Jordan, Curran, and Stokes were very expensive. Archer again was superb, 6 and over. Rashid got a wicket as well. So they will come back strong, I think. They just need to, if they're batting first, both teams, they just need to come up with a method where they don't take too much pressure and try to get that big target without aiming for it, because that puts a lot of mental pressure. But I think going into the third match, it's anybody's game. Both teams, playing some really good cricket and some poor cricket, and respectively. I think India fielding was a bit off in the first T20. We saw England's fielding a bit off in the second. Ben Stokes dropping a sitter of Kishan as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. For you, what are you looking forward to in the next T20?
Um, I think I'm looking forward to what England does to change things up, because I found Tom Curran to be a surprising inclusion in this lineup. His brother is definitely, no, I'm not going to say he's more talented, but he's in more form, like with the ball, especially. Sam Curran's also had a big profile with the bat in IPL, so he's fine. But Tom Curran, I found that pick a bit odd, so I don't know if they will change it up, because I think Chris Wood, was he injured or something?
Mark Wood.
Mark Wood, sorry, Mark Wood. Yeah,
I
was he
don't.
injured?
I'm not sure if he was injured. Maybe they just rotated because they have that policy. They don't want to overwork the bowlers.
I think going forward, I think Markwood should come back into the team for England, because he's been fantastic in the first T20. He's troubled the Indian batsmen. I think going forward, it's going to be a matter of the toss. Whoever wins it has a big advantage. But India has shown that they can chase down 200 if they have to. India's goal is to tackle the top and middle order of the England batting, because it's so destructive. Look at it. It's Roy, Butler, Malan, who's the number one T20 player in the world. Bairstow, Morgan at 5. That's ridiculous. And you have Stokes, and then you have Curran. So on paper, it's going to be a fireworks filled series, in my opinion. The batting on both sides can get away from the bowlers. And I think going forward, it'll be important which bowling side can restrict the batting. That's going to be the key, because on paper, these both teams can score 220 on their day.
Yeah, I think two things just to wrap it up. I think with what you said about the batting, I think Malan and Kohli will play crucial roles in trying to anchor the innings because the other batsmen, it looks like both teams have this approach of going aggressive, like going all out, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
But you probably need one batsman who can still guide the team, and I think those one down players, Malan and Kohli, can do the job. So that'll be very important. And I think England should go with Moeen Ali. I think the wicket might start turning from the next game. I heard there might be red soil, but apart from that,
Oh,
because it's in the same ground, you will see a bit of wear and tear, and like it's not the same pitch, but when
yeah.
you're playing in the same ground, I'm sure it'll get a bit slower at the surface, and I think spinners will come into play. Like India is playing two spinners already, they might even go three, but I think England will should play Moeen Ali. He provides with the bat, and with the ball, he'll give you the 4 overs. He can play that Washington Sundar role with a new ball. He can pick up wickets
Yep.
with the older ball as well. So I think I really like Moeen Ali personally, and I just think it'll better balance that team. But apart from that, I think both teams, looking good. It's going to be a great series. Looking forward to the third T20.
Same, man. I don't have a prediction. It's too close to call. So I'm just going to say looking forward to the explosiveness of the series. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. We haven't seen a super over yet. Hopefully, we see that. But yeah, I think that wraps up this review. Catch us for the next review of the third T20. But apart from that, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you like and subscribe to our video and enjoy the games. Take care. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.